Okay, Grenada, Karen, Kopini, Monik, and the rest of the world, I'd like to officially welcome you to another Mikey Live program, and I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson. People, it is always a pleasure to be on the program with you, to talk to you about what's making the news. Of course, this is news discussed, not told. Don't get it twisted. We are discussing what's making the news, and of course you too have a say in what happens. You can simply put your comments in the comment section, of course, and let's interact about what's the topics on the streets here in Grenada and of course in the Caribbean. So let's take a look at what's making the headlines. A garbage truck goes up in flames. We'll talk about that. And woman randomly smashes vehicle in the city. A business owner found dead shortly after reporting for duty. And the SVG Coast Guard takes down fleeing boat with Grenadian. All right, we'll talk about that and more. Hey, by the way, the GUT boy, they have rejected the government's proposal to put an end to the walk to rule. It's a very interesting development with that. We're going to talk about that as well. And will Caribbean countries rethink travel ban? Well, let's see. And we're going to talk about a sale, Spice Isle. So we have a lot of things to tell you about, folks. So brace yourself when we come back on tonight's program. It could be real news in all your Lily Lolo. Now, we want you to know that the headlines tonight was brought to you through the kind compliments of Nawasa, WPG10, and Digicel. So when we return, it will be real news in all your Lily Lolo. Brace all yourself. And if you have not yet done so, I'd like to encourage you to share the program. You see, when I share the program, that's how other people get to know that we are live. So go ahead and share the business, folks. We are coming back with the news momentarily.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
It's one of the most anticipated events in 2020, the Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th at the home of the festival, Quarantine Recreational Park. 12 live bands, more than 16 dynamic performers, great food and local culture. The Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th. Bigger and better in 2020. Get ready.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes. From as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand Anse, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
The West Indies Cricket Championship Tournament is on and in full swing.
It's gone high and it's gone over the boundary. That's gone for 6.
Thursday, February 13th to Sunday, February 16th.
You for the job crazy like Donald Trump.
4 days of exciting cricket action at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium. The region's best go head-to-head. As the Windward Island Volcanoes takes on the Guyana Jaguars. Game starts 10 a.m. daily. Admission $10 at the gate. It's cricket, more cricket. At the Grenada National Cricket Stadium, Windward Island Guyana Jaguars. It's the West Indies Championship Tournament. Cricket fans, we will be seeing you there.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
All right, so they are always bringing value home. Again, we would like to welcome everyone who has joined us on the program. And before we go forward, folks, I just want you to know, let me just pull out our packages, that we still have a few packages remaining for your Valentine. This is wine, wine and chocolate, right? So you have your Mikey Live Helping Hands Foundation wine, and as well Mikey Live, well, not Mikey Live chocolate, but we have our chocolate. And listen, see Brian and chocolate talking about, and here's how you, and there are some other chocolates in the bag. All right, so here's how you get this. All you do is you make a donation to our organization of $80 or more, and you would receive this for yourself or for somebody who you want us to deliver it to. I mean, that's it, for right in time for Valentine. Yeah, man, that's what we're doing. All right, so we need your support. Please message me or any member of the organization in order to get your bottle. Of course, the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds go back to charity towards helping fire victims and students who cannot pay their tuition or buy food to eat and stuff like that. We really need your assistance, all right, in that regard. We are moving on. So, all right, so the first thing that we need to, and by the way, if you listen to WeFM tomorrow, we'll be giving away, I don't want to, anyway, yes, WeFM will be giving away some of that tomorrow as well, all right? And we're going to tell you about Spice Out Jewelry a little later on. Okay, so, Olio, the first thing that we need to tell you about, boys, that Gaza, they've been doing a lot of work, all right? And the Grenada Amateur Swimming Association, they have named the 5-member team who will represent Grenada at the UANA Swimming Cup 2020 in Peru. Now, while 5 swimmers are participating at this meet, it is significant, they say, to note that 11 of Grenada's national swimmers qualified to participate at the UANA Cup this year, a qualifying level that speaks very well for the ongoing development of swimming in the country. All right, and for Zone 1, CC Can, Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, Bahamas, Barbados, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, Cayman, Grenada is among them as well, all right? And, you know, it's good when you name call with these islands on them, yeah? All right? So the swimmers are Naika Charles, Gabriel Hyson, Ariane Clouden, and Kimberly Ince, and the male Zachary Gresham, all right? So let's join in congratulating them, all right? Congratulations to all those swimmers. We only have one picture here, but there are others who are participating. So congratulations to you guys. All right. So the next thing that we have to tell all you about the quarterfinal phase of the GFA Club Championship will begin on Friday. The first game at 7 in the evening will feature a clash with 2 conference teams, Fontenoy United and Shamrock. This will be followed with a matchup of 2 Premier League teams, making it in the group of 8, Hard Rock versus St. John's Sports. All right, on Saturday, 4 Premier League clubs will be in action coming from the preliminary round. Sab Spartans and GBSS will take charge of the first encounter at 7 in the evening, followed by Hurricanes and Eagles Super Strikers. Folks, today was no ordinary day in Grenada. Let's tell you about a truck that caught fire at Granitan today. It's a garbage truck, and of course it drew the attention of passerbys. Of course, we are happy to report that there were no, according to reports, right, because we were not on the scene, but according to reports, there were no serious injuries to the driver of this vehicle. Now, what exactly happened We are not sure, but word coming in just around 5 p.m. was that this vehicle caught fire at Granatan. We have to at least say it could have been worse, so we have to thank God for small mercies. I mean, this could have been a lot worse. We've seen a lot of garbage trucks ending up in a lot of situations like these lately. All right. We are moving on. All right, so folks, the next thing that we have to tell all you, boy, let me see what we have for all you. Now, a woman today, I don't know what happened, and I guess as much you guys would see the video and listen to me. The video that you guys see circulating on social media is a few seconds of an encounter that lasted much longer. Just around 9:20 thereabout, a woman just started smashing vehicles on Cross Street, going from vehicle to vehicle. And this video that you're seeing now is not even the start of it. That was midway in the whole encounter, as you realize the video stopped. But quite a few vehicles were damaged. And listen, she was putting down that crime with her bare hands. Her bare hands. She mashed up my vehicle. I don't know what the vehicle do to the lady. You understand? It was until later, when I saw the video, I realized that my vehicle took a pounding. To check, light in the back is broken. Windshield wiper and the holder. And she broke the windshield of this vehicle that you're looking at right now. She broke the headlights of another vehicle, attempted to break the headlight of another vehicle, all with her bare hands. Blood on about 5 vehicles on the street. All the vehicles had blood on them. Yeah? What triggered that angry outburst, or however you call it, this violent action on the vehicles? I don't know. There were people who were speculating, but we can't say nothing. A report was made to the police, and it seemed like the police know her very well. So the police, they are investigating. She did not just stop there. She went on. She moved on. You understand? It brought in the whole conversation of people who may or may not be mentally stable. But what I'm saying is that I can appreciate anyone with some mental problems. But miss, why me vehicle? You understand? I can, and you pass. And the thing is that she passed a newer model vehicle straight. You understand? So you interfere with one day, you pass a newer model vehicle, like probably that vehicle must be bought a few months ago because it's spick and spank. You pass that one straight. You understand? You pass it straight, you don't see? You understand? But the red vehicle there, you get a little touch to it earlier on, but you didn't see, that's not on the video. You understand? Well, I never see more people with her bare hands. You understand? And she went on and on and on, and she had a whole crowd of people following her, just trying to stop her. I shouldn't necessarily say try to stop her, because in most cases, it was after the damage was done that people realized what was going on, and they come and they run in and to try to get her, or whatever the case is. I was even shocked that no one tried to stop her before. She just went on and on and on and on. Even the video have evidence of it. You understand? There was a little scuffle between her and the person on the end, because the next person's vehicle was, you see, she was, yeah, so you realize that they end up in a little thing there, because her vehicle was next, you know, so she tried to protect her vehicle and they end up in a little scuffle. You understand? No. Anyway, so I went in to make a report to the police today, but it took too long, so I had to go. We had to make another report, or go to, so I'll have to sending a report, you know. That's not the only thing that happened on the cross street today, people. Just as people were around kind of coming to terms with what has just happened with the vehicles on that street, word started circulating that the man who operates a business right next to where you're looking at right now, close to We FM radio, is unresponsive. Folks, okay, so he's unresponsive. The ambulance showed up in very quick timing. Very quick. You understand? And then, check, he had no pulse. And just like that, he was pronounced dead. Just like that. No blood, no nothing. And so, an autopsy is pending to determine the cause of death. But he came to work as normal, opened his small business. It's called a small money variety store. You know, he usually puts out his clothes. That was done. But he wasn't really complete. He didn't complete that task when he was discovered missing. You know, where is he? You know, on the floor. On the floor. Unresponsive. And later to be pronounced dead. I know that there are a lot of theories out there, but of course there are no evidence to support those claims that are out there. A lot of people are trying to link the two incidents. They happened around the same time. They happened in the same area, but there is no evidence to support any claims. There is nothing to suggest any foul play or anything like that. Nothing, not that I know of. Yes, and so an autopsy will state for sure exactly what he died from. All right. So let's see what's taking place with that. It's just a probably sheer coincidence that the two happened in the same area just around the same time. Yes. His right name is Mr. Claudius Mason. And we were told that he's just about 60 years old. All right. And yeah, he just, anyway, collapsed. The right word to use. Collapsed and was later pronounced dead. All right. It's a tough one. Okay, so Olio, another Grenadian, seemed to be in trouble in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this young man. And this time, so let me really tell you what happened, and that's according to Searchlight News in SVG. It took 2 Coast Guard vessels, a warning shot, and a shot to the engine of the boat in which he was in order for the authorities to put a stop to a suspicious fleeing vessel. All right. Now, after the high-speed chase, it was revealed that one Kwame Abraham of Grenada, a prohibited immigrant, was a passenger on board the vessel. Now, on February 4th, the day that the vessel was apprehended, the police and the Coast Guard had begun a joint operation at around 7 p.m. led by a police from SVG. Now, at around 10:30 p.m., so you would tell that some hours would have passed, the Coast Guard vessel received information from another vessel that they were in pursuit of a blue and purple boat. The vessel went to assist and met the chase of the coast of Laos. No, not even with both vessels now in pursuit did the purple and blue boat stop, and neither did it stop after a warning shot was fired, according to reports. Now, the police had to fire at the engine of that fleeing boat in order to disable it. Now, Abraham was one of the two passengers, or two persons rather, on board, the other being a Vincentian. Now, the fleeing vessel is said to be owned by a Vincentian. Now, Abraham was questioned by an immigration officer, and it was revealed that he was not carrying any passport nor any identification card. He explained, that he was in St. Vincent to deliver some tablets to a sick boy. Now, he also told the story when he appeared before the senior magistrate, Ricky Barnett, and that was at the Kingston Magistrates Court last Thursday. He was there to answer to 4 criminal charges. Now, when questioned about being in the state in the company of a Vincentian, the 40-year-old farmer/gardener responded to the magistrate. He said that, well, I didn't know if the guy is a Vincentian, but temporarily employing the use of dialect, the senior magistrate told Abraham, that story? I ain't sure about that. You make up that, man. To which the Grenadian insisted, no. The senior magistrate outlined that $250 was the minimum fine that would apply to separate immigration offenses to which Abraham had to answer, and was proposing the $250 minimum fine on each of the 4 charges, namely, he is being a prohibited immigrant and entering the state by a boat without passport, he's entering other than at the port of entry, he's entering the state and disembarking without the consent of an immigration officer, and knowingly and willingly allowing himself to be landed as a prohibited immigrant. So, when I impose a fine on you, how are you going to pay that? The magistrate asked. Abraham replied that he didn't know. Make a phone call, maybe, and see how I can get something or how I can get through. Now, the senior magistrate observed that there are persons who feel that when we have those matters, the magistrate should not do anything to them at all. They just feel that one Caribbean. So you can do what you want. I think that it was unfortunate, but Abraham would have to go to prison should he be unable to pay. No, the senior magistrate further explained to the defendant that because he had no ties to St. Vincent, he would not be able to give him time to pay. The prosecutor asked that a fine be imposed and a deportation order made. Now, upon a $1,000 fine being imposed, the magistrate advised Abraham to use the proper channel if he wants to come back. And, and he said, we'll accommodate you and treat you as Vincentian normally treat persons when they're coming, unquote. Now, so we see the difference in treatment of the 2 cases, this one and the one from last week. However, there are still people from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and people on social media who are saying, hey, give the guys a break. Yeah? The islands are so close that from time to time you will find these things happening, that they're in different, they're crossing boundary lines and so on. And hey, the guy was not carrying anything illegal, and so these islands are just too close for it not to happen, that they'll be crossing ever so often into each other's waters and so on. So I don't know if it's a time for them to revisit that, but that's what they say. It's something that should be looked at. All right, Olio. So here the next thing that we need to tell you about. Intercall was just launched. Was it yesterday? And we are hearing that, hey, there are no certainties, there are no guarantees that there will be Intercall 2020. And let me tell you why. Of course, there were conversations between the GUT and, the hierarchy of the GUT and the government. However, after all documents were put together and presented to the members, it was rejected. Basically, the teachers are saying, hey, there's no compromise here. We want back our money. The teachers want back their money and they're not compromising on this. You understand? So, there was no signing. And if they cannot see eye to eye on that matter, it is very likely that the work to rule will continue into the time that Intercall games are supposed to be hosted. In other words, the work to rule will persist and no Intercall. The teachers will be asked to not do anything extra and, yada, 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 just like that. So there is a hope that this situation can be ironed out ASAP. Republic Bank announced, that they were, I think it was yesterday we told you that, man. Yeah, they just launched the thing. They talk about what its name is, we just read so much news, I can't even remember when we tell you, You understand? But I think it was yesterday. You understand? I'm telling you. So we have to see what goes on there and just hope for the best. Remember last year, National Secondary School Games replaced the Intercall because walk the rule. But yes, here it is. The Grenada Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, they are saying that there will be Intercall games this year. All right, the media launch, it was yesterday. Sponsored by Republic Bank. The theme, the 2020 Republic Bank Intercall Games. Yeah, so, And they gave a date. It would run from March 31st to the 2nd. I ain't making it up. That was yesterday. And now the teachers are saying, hey, match your breaks. Nothing no go so. So, let me see what will go on with the happies. We are moving on. Will some Caribbean countries rethink its decision to have travel bans and so on as it relates to the whole coronavirus? And while some Caribbean countries have installed a travel ban from visitors from China in reaction to that same outbreak, some other countries have held out, saying that the science has not proved it to be fully effective. And some countries, according to reports, may just be reviewing that policy. Let's join our sister station, WP G10, for a special report on that.
In spite of some social media-inspired fear about coronavirus, Caribbean countries such as Dominica, Barbados, and Guyana have refused to impose a travel ban on people arriving from China, with declarations ranging from being counterproductive to providing a false sense of security.
I am not sure if banning travel and so is the way to go about.
Suriname, which initially imposed the ban, has now lifted it. It is believed that more countries will in the coming week follow suit.
There is consistently a review. We review daily within the Ministry of Health in Grenada, and then as a CARICOM body we review weekly. So we will be reviewing again on Thursday as well as on Monday with CARICOM.
Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley said the bans have been an overreaction.
Because history has shown that panic does not assist in the resolution of these matters, and therefore the region will take an evidence-based approach that will be measured and appropriate to the risk that we face.
And it's a view that has been expressed by others.
Definitely no reason to panic. Panic could cause more trouble than the virus.
We've got to be realistic in how we make decisions. We are all in this and together. We have to look to the international agencies, to the World Health Organization.
Steele said regional health agencies had advised from the start against the ban.
Both entities still do not advise or see it necessary to have a travel ban.
Steele acknowledged that the ban Grenada imposed was more because of adverse local public reaction rather than a worthwhile medical argument.
But what we found as CARICOM health ministers is that our public, either in the absence of factual information, were very concerned and almost to the level of public hysteria.
Some has argued that the ban of Chinese national has been discriminatory in nature. It's a point Grenada's health minister Nicholas Steele said he has heard.
In fact, right now, the UK is as much a risk, and Canada is as much a risk for coronavirus coming to Grenada as is direct flights or persons coming from China in the last 14 days.
So this is the big problem. You cannot put a whole world population in quarantine, or even a whole country.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit said Beijing in fact has been particularly proactive and effective in ensuring that people who may suspect to have the virus are not allowed to leave, and that there are strong protocols in place to screen everyone that's leaving.
The government of Dominica commends the leadership of President Xi and Premier Li Keqiang on their extraordinary efforts and a transparent manner in which they have been treating with and managing this crisis.
Skerrit suggested in his parliament this week that some of the bans might have been hyped because of politics rather than science.
The government of Dominica wishes to say to all nations that this is not a time for nations to take decisions in an effort to isolate the People's Republic of China.
I think what we have to recognize is Barbados has stood strong on the science. They have not implemented a travel ban.
The verdict tonight is that the international management of the outbreak was getting better, not worse.
Most people recover. When they get this disease, they recover.
You mean the corona?
The coronavirus, they recover. They don't die.
Most people.
No, I mean overwhelming majorities of people.
All right, thank you very much,
Despite
guys,
some
for
social
that very interesting report, I must say, all right? Now, we are moving on. Folks, I want to let you know that Spice Isle Jewelry is really on board, and they are supporting our initiative to have these items sold. And of course, here's what is going to happen for you right now at Spice Isle Jewelry for the next 2 days. All right, you can get wine, chocolate, and jewelry for Valentine's. Receive 35% discount of silver and gold jewelry and free wine and chocolate for that special someone. That's happening only at the Spice Isle Jewelry. All right, so you're getting 35% off your silver and gold jewelry and free wine and chocolate. Yeah, and of course we're happy that they are coming on board. They are supporting our initiative to have these items sold so that we can continue our charity initiatives. And of course, we are happy, so we want to invite you to go check them out. All right, guys? Yeah, check them out on that. Now we are moving on. How are we looking for time? Some of all you have not yet shared the program. I'd kindly ask that you please go ahead and do so. Now remember that these people may need to call the number that I'm about to give as soon as possible. It's important that you do. All right? All right, so call the number, which is for 420-8226. That's 420-8226. Welcome to the hot list. The names are, all right, and listen, you're not calling me, all right, guys, you're not calling me, you are calling the number. So Alisa Joseph, River Road, St. George, call the number. Erlyn Gilbert, Grand Mall, St. George, call the number, all right, as well as Lindy Skinner Moraine, Spring, St. George, call the number. Ansel Holder, Tempe, Clifford Batiste, Grand Dance, Byron Frank, Vendome, Augustus Maitland from Buseju, Nadia Simon Mungay, Sholan Ambrose Gove, Ashton Thomas Moran, Lauren and Sherry and Dunbar, Telescope St. Andrew, Glenn Canhai Post Royal, Joseph Paul Pearl St. Andrew, Stoddle Romaine Conference St. Andrew, Errol McEwen, Carrier St. Andrew, Ricky Lalji Hope St. Andrew, Gary George aka Gambe, Langdon Road Grove St. John, Kimani Lewison, Mount Morris St. George, Kimron Alexander Maribel, Alberto Lewis Paradise, Elroy Fletcher Grenville, Jenny Samuel Conference, Kelly Hilaire and Jennifer James Conference, Atiba Bartholomew Tivoli, Jeniza Samuel Conference, Brendan Douglas, Harford Village, Kelly David, Montreat St. Patrick, Andrel Noel, Chantimel, Alicia Fabian, Sateres, Raymond Ramon, Albert Monfendu, Dagmar Chavez, Westerhall, Curtis Boris, Rucane, Omega Antoine, Molly, St. David, and Linus Charles of Latant in St. David. Again, guys, please call the number. We are going to take another break, and we have for you the national report and as well the weather. Stay tuned.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
It's one of the most anticipated events in 2020, the Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th at the home of the festival, Quarantine Recreational Park. 12 live bands, more than 16 dynamic performers, great food and local culture. The Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th, bigger and better in 2020. Get ready.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granite, St. George.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
And folks, we gotta let you know that tickets for the Grenada Music Festival is now out. All right, you can check it out on gotofet.com. Yeah, you're getting your tickets right now for the Grenada Music Festival. And folks, it's now time for the national report. Let's transition over to that.
Caribbean Development Bank to use recently published methodology to determine vulnerability index of borrowing member countries. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, February 12th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, wants to use its recently published Multi-Dimensional Vulnerability Index to determine the level of vulnerability of its borrowing member countries in a global setting. The bank's Director of Economics, Dr. Justin Ram, says they calculated the index for their BMCs and, having received feedback on the methodology from international partners, the consensus is that the methodology is sound.
We now have a consensus that our methodology is sound, and what we want to do is to roll out this methodology to include more countries globally. In fact, the ambition is to actually have this multidimensional vulnerability index done for all countries of the world, so that then we can really see how our countries' vulnerabilities lie within a global context. Now, Dr. Smith mentioned we have coming up next month the beginning of our negotiations for the replenishment of our special development funds. And we do have a paper that we're taking to our board which seeks to identify a new approach to how our countries can access concessional resources utilizing the methodology of this vulnerability index.
CDB President Dr. Warren Smith says borrowing members with relatively high per capita income have limited access to concessional resources compared with the other member countries.
Our view is that that issue needs to be addressed. And we feel that you have to be able to make the case. You have to make the case in a credible manner, so that we feel that the issue of vulnerability to natural hazards is a very big part of that case, but it has to be evidence-based, so that the work that's being done on this vulnerability index, in my view, is a good step in that direction. So we're going to be having that conversation, as I say, we're going to start that conversation next month.
Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell has welcomed the start of work on the Six Senses Hotel project in Lassages, St. David. Project developers Range Developments announced the start of construction last Thursday to coincide with Grenada's 46th anniversary of independence on February 7th. The 100-room luxury hotel is scheduled for completion by November 2022, and Dr. Mitchell is keen to see this accomplished given its potential impact on the rural economy. Dr. Mitchell said, and I quote, "This project will impact significantly on Grenada's rural economy, especially through the creation of jobs in both the construction phase and when the hotel begins operations," unquote. Managing Director of Range Developments, Mr. Mohammed Asaria, said the pace of progress on the project is indicative of the company's commitment to deliver in record time. Only 10 months have elapsed since the government of Grenada signed the agreement with Range Developments. Six Senses Lassages is a project approved under Grenada's Citizenship by Investment program. Grenada's top reader, Melody Garrett of St. Rose SDA School, returned home on Wednesday after winning the OEC at Scots reading competition title in St. Lucia on Tuesday. Melody stood up to her competitors from a number of other islands, including St. Lucia, which placed second, and Antigua and Barbuda, which placed third. We have a report by Annette Moore.
Congratulations, Melody. Courts OECS reading champion.
Melody Garrett, the 2020 winner of the 10th Courts OECS reading competition, returned today to warm greetings from a delegation of teachers and students from her school, the Courts marketing officer, DeLeon Walters, and other supporters who gathered to congratulate her. Her grade school teacher and coach, who have high expectations of her, praised her diligence and graceful demeanor as attributes that served her well during the competition.
Her behavior and her attitude add to what she has accomplished, all right? Because it's not only about talent, but it's also about having the good attitude and behavior to add with that talent, and therefore in the end she has demonstrated that she's a winner.
I was very impressed with the quality of reading that was displayed by all the students and the organizers of the event. Hats off to them. From the district level, I was really confident. I just knew she would have won the overall competition. There is something very special about Melody that, you know, draws everybody to her. She's a very humble child, and she does her best in everything that she put her mind to. She gives it her all, and that's what stood out for her, and she was able to come out the champion in that competition. Everybody is super excited. You know, we couldn't contain ourselves today. We had to come down here. We had to come and welcome Melody back home because it's a big win, not just for Grenada, but for our school, being a school in the village. You know, we were very, very, very excited to be here to share in that moment with Melody.
Some of Melody's classmates also shared their opinion.
Yeah, I was expecting for her to win, and if she don't come any other position, I'll just be happy for her as a friend.
Somebody tell me about it, and I feel happy because I was like, oh, Melody is so awesome.
Melody says she wasn't nervous and was prepared to do her best, having worked on her weaker areas leading up to the regional final.
My name is Melody Garrett. I attend school at the Montrose SDA Primary School, and I just won the Coates OECS reading competition. My friends and my teachers, I knew they were praying for me, so I wasn't scared because I knew if they were praying for me, God would be with me and I would have nothing to fear. If you work hard and you put your mind to what you want to do, you will succeed. After I did the finals in St. George's, I went to a radio station in Surtees and I practiced with a man that used to be reading a lot, and I worked a lot on my endings and my TH and the pronunciation of my words, and I think that's what I improved on.
Melody has also made new friends and thinks St. Lucia reminds her a lot of Grenada.
I made some friends and our parents exchanged numbers, so we will be talking. And what I liked about talking to them was that when I was talking to them, we were talking to each other about our countries, and after a while we didn't want to compete against each other because we were such good friends.
Melody says she's grateful to her parents, school and community for the role they all played in helping her to succeed. Quartz Reading Competition Coordinator in Grenada and Activities Coordinator at the Ministry of Education, Yolande Bridgman-Lewis, noted that Melody was clearly in the lead.
The other participants was no match for Melody. She did very well. In fact, the difference between first place and second place was like 22 points. All right, so she was leading, you know, and there was no question about Melody winning the competition. In fact, she won both rounds of the competition. She won the narrative round as well as the news item.
Melody's mom, Misty Garrett, is very pleased, and she tells us what makes Melody such a special child and some of her parenting secrets.
It's a good feeling to know that, you know, the things that you taught her, she went out there and did it, and it was just a happy feeling. I taught her that it's okay when you're taking part, that despite you did not win, you did your best, and that's good. There are children who would be able to do some things academically. You support them. If it's a skill, you support them as well, because despite what, this child will be making you proud in any field that they go out to. So we just have to support them and continue praying for them.
As part of her prize package, Melody receives the Champion Trophy, EC $5,000, a laptop, a smartphone, books, and other items. She previously won EC 1500 at the local competition and 1000 for her school. It is not surprising that Melody has listed books as being at the top of her shopping list.
In the news this afternoon, girls in ICT. The Department of Education innovation, and gender relations, along with regional and international counterparts, will be holding a 3-day symposium which will open the doors to numerous careers. The symposium will give the participants, especially vulnerable girls and women, the opportunity to participate in hands-on training.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Kayak Mass 2020. February 15th to February 25th. And real events making one spectacular carnival. Saturday, February 15th. Children Mass, Frolic, and the Big Show. Thursday, February 20th. Queen Show Night. February 21st. Soca Monarch. Saturday, 22nd. Jab Convention. Calypso and Groovy. Sunday, February 23rd. Monday, Juve and Monday Night Mass. Tuesday, February 25th. Shakespeare Mass. And the Last Lap. All the major MCs and DJs will be inside Kayak Mass 2020. Make reservations and book now.
Rural farmers are being encouraged to practice climate-smart agriculture given challenges experienced as a result of reduced precipitation and increasing temperatures, which can impact the levels of water that is available. Through 2 pilot projects which are being undertaken by Gren Coda, through support from the Food and Agriculture Organization and the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, a number of farmers will find it easier to store and collect water that they can use on their farms. The special commissioning ceremony was held for the 2 pilot projects this week. We get more in this report from Mina Booker.
Realizing that water stress is one of the greatest challenges for our rural farmers, the Grenada Community Development Agency, Gren Coda, through 2 pilot programs backed by funding from the Food and Agricultural Organization, or FAO, and support from the Ministry of Agriculture, made it possible for 6 rural farmers to receive systems that can improve water access, storage, and increase nutrient value of their soils. All 6 farmers received their storage tanks, among other equipment, to undergo composting and rainwater harvesting at their farms last October. They have now moved into full implementation of the structures, which were officially commissioned on Monday, 10th February. Prior to the special commissioning ceremony, a team from Gren Coda, FAO, along with the Ministry of Agriculture's PR unit, visited farms where equipment have been installed in Florida, Victoria, La Fortune, Madeiz, and Snell Hall. Benny Langine, Deputy General Secretary for Gren Coda, welcomes coordinating and collaborating with the FAO on another instance to provide assistance to rural farmers. According to him, this project helps farmers to take a cleaner approach to farming.
We are glad that these tanks, with a capacity of 800 gallons each, could be up, and we see that farmers have in fact not just sat back, arms folded, and received that support, but in fact have embraced it and have added to it. All right, added to it by investing in lines, all right, drip lines and irrigation systems and so on, connected to the tanks and so on, so it can, take care of, water the plants and the crops and so on. The composting too, we believe, is very, very important and has a lot of benefit for the farmers. It reduces the cost of very expensive fertilizer, and it is something that is more friendly, more eco-friendly and so on. So they have all to gain from it, so that they can plant, watch the crops grow, produce and so on, without, in a sense, wreaking havoc on the earth.
Now that they have moved into full implementation of the attributes at their farm, the farmers indicated ways that they continue to benefit.
Tanks in place, compost in place, it's just wonderful. Whenever it's dry, the ground will crack up So now that we have the tanks, it will be better because the pot will remain moist, so then we can get whatever, we plant whatever.
Liverpool is a dry forest area, and in the dry time it's really dry. Liverpool is one of the 3 biggest concentrations of dry forest in Grenada, Perseverance and down in the south being the other instances. And our farmers in this area are seasonal farmers. because we have to operate when the rain is falling. And when it's dry, it's really dry, as I said before. So we are extremely grateful to Grand Coda for giving us the opportunity to have this water harvesting structures. What it does for us is allow us to operate in a non-traditional time for us. So whereas we would have to be packing in our tools at this time of year, some of us are in preparation for going into another cycle of crops. So we are really grateful for that. The composting component of it allows us to benefit, to conserve water, because the compost would help keep moisture at the stool of the plant. And it also aids us in making our contribution towards feeding the nation healthier.
Well, I'm grateful for that tank, and I know you will benefit me so long as the rain falling. If the rain don't fall, I won't get water. And then you would help me to go a long way by using some drip lines.
Consultant for the Food and Agricultural Organization's Regional Office, Ms. Kelly Walcott, says she's pleased with the implementation process of this project.
On behalf of FAO, I just want to thank all of you, especially the farmers, for partaking in these pilots. I learned a lot today. The pilots are amazing, and you know what your benefits are, I can see firsthand, and everything was perfect in my opinion in what I saw. I am thankful for your perseverance and your patience, and yeah, it was really good.
Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Mr. Elvis Maureen, urged the recipients to care and make best use of their facilities.
We have learned from the experiences of these farmers. So critical is for you to appreciate the investment that has been placed at your feet. Appreciate it. And I say the best way to return thanks to Grand Coda, FAO, the ministry, and yourselves is to continue to take good care and put the facility into best use. Put it into best use. I want you to recognize that what you do is an investment.
The ministry held the hands of Grand Coda by assisting with the procurement of materials and providing technical support to farmers and officers attached to the program. Water plays an important role in ensuring food and nutrition security for all, as it helps provide high-quality food and can lead to healthier lives. Now that the farmers have implemented their systems, it means that they can benefit from reduced cost of water and increased production due to access to water. For the Ministry of Agriculture, I am Mina Booker.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
All right, yes, thank you very much, National Report. Yes, and of course, folks, what we have for you before we wrap up tonight is the weather. All right, so let's see what's going on with the weather. It's a bit overcast today. And so from the Met Office, we see that the temperature recorded at midday was just about 29.7 degrees Celsius. Now, for tonight, weather is expected to be partly cloudy, windy, and hazy with the occasional light to moderate showers. The winds east northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate to rough, waves 6 to 9 feet in northerly to northeasterly swells. A marine advisory remains in effect, and sun is expected to rise tomorrow, God's willing, just around 6:31 a.m. And so, folks, that's your weather report. And just before we wrap up tonight, we want to say hello to Louisa, Gemma, Joyous, Noreen, Charmaine, Shireen, Camille, Lynette, Margaret, Eunice, and Mishi, and Meryl, Lintona, Mike, and the rest of the family. Lisa, thank you again, guys, for watching. And who else, boy? Just everybody who is currently on the program. I would like to say thank you. And folks, I want to encourage you to check out my brother's karaoke. That's Michael Hutchinson. Yes, man. And of course, he goes around and he does this little karaoke. I'm trying to see if I see the flyer for you. You understand? He goes around and he does this little thing with his little karaoke, and it's doing pretty well. All right, Junction Vibes Sip and Shop. You can check them out. All right, that's at the Cafe Junction in Croshu. He's there, and I'll tell you when he's going to be there. All right, so on Tuesdays, Junction View Bar, Rocane, 8 to 12. On Wednesdays, Gold's Bar, Pedmata, 7 to 12. Then on Thursdays, Junction Vibes Bar, Cafe Junction, Croshu, 7 to 12. And then on Fridays, G&J Restaurant and Bar, Grand Dance, 8 to midnight. Saturdays, Mass Shop in Hopeville, 8 to midnight. Sundays, Sweet Corner Bar, Vincent's, 8 to midnight. All right, so check him out on that. And folks, I really, again, would like to encourage you to purchase our... Well, it's not really a purchase, because here's what you're doing. You're making a donation towards the organization. All right, it's just an $80 donation, and you're getting, again, premium chocolate. Yeah, lucky I doesn't need chocolate, you know. All right, premium chocolate and some other little chocolates in there, and you're getting your special edition Mikey Live Helping Hands Foundation wine. And once you help us in that way, we are able to help others, you know, continue with our donation drives and so on to assist people who are in need. And that's what it's all about. So 100% of the proceeds will go back towards charity. We really need your help on this. All right, guys. So I'm just asking you if you can assist us in that manner. We still have a few packages remaining, but hey, they gotta go before Valentine, because it was somewhat put together for Valentine, so that of course you can get it for yourself or for someone. All right, so I'm really asking that you guys support this initiative. You can call me for 414-9995 after the program, or send me a message and we can make arrangements to have you collect that. All right, guys, we are also going to be having a giveaway of on WeFM Radio tomorrow, God's willing, and don't forget to check out the Spice Out Jewelry. All right, you're getting discounts, right? Imagine that, you know. And you're also getting our wine and chocolate. So support us in whatever way that you can. That's as far as we can go for tonight. I trust that God is going to bless you and your family until we touch base again tomorrow, God's willing. Take care of yourselves now. Good evening. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No. Good night, everyone.